Here we go again with another crazy situation. For some odd reason, for somebody to actually die with multiple friends that somehow made it back home. Not only they made it back home, but they made it back home and said that their friend went elsewhere with a female. But for some odd reason, some of the stories didn't line up right. Let's see. Because for some odd reason, we got to make sense of this.
The body of 18-year-old black teen Nolan Xavier Wells has been found. His white friends who were with him on the trip have already hired lawyers. Wells vanished July 4 during a 4th of July boat outing to Horn Island, Mississippi, about 10 miles off the Gulf Coast. A park ranger found him in the water near the northwest end on July 6th. His phone was not with him. It was in his father's possession. The island has no cell coverage and is only accessible by private boat. Search teams, including the Cajun Navy, scoured land and sea since his disappearance. Authorities have not said how many people were on the boat or who made the missing person report. But online video suggests a possible altercation before the friends left Wells behind. One friend is the child of a judge, and all of them quickly retained lawyers. Wells was reportedly heading to meet a girl, but instead his friends took another boat and departed without him. Why did his phone return, but he did not? Why the immediate legal protection? The family and activists are furious, comparing this to other cases where black victims' deaths were dismissed as accidents. Officials are awaiting DNA confirmation, though the family says they have identified him. What do you think?
It's kind of crazy, yo. They already lawyered up. Not only they lawyered up, no one seen. They even said somebody was saying that they didn't see any type of remorse of anything. They've shown that they was concerned, which leads them to possibly believe that there was some foul play that did happen. Come on, man. Don't nobody just die like that. And this ain't the first time this ever happened. This is crazy, man. Like we in times now where as though we seeing stuff like this. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I never been to Mississippi a day in my life. But every time I hear about Mississippi, I always hear about something crazy happening when it comes to a racist act. But at the end of the day, man, we're finding out that you gotta kind of be mindful of being the only black boy out there with four white friends. I get it, I get it, I get it. That it seems like a story is always turned into something racist, but for some odd reason, this happened quite a few times. I remember when the girl stayed over her friend's house. They were all white girls, and somehow she ended up dead. It's like the weirdest things is happening right now. It's not even making any sense. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to make sense or not. But
They did it. As soon as I saw this picture, first thought of my mind was these motherfuckers killed that kid. It was literally the first thought I had in my head. I fucking hate you racist pieces of shit. They did find his body, so we'll have to wait and hear what the coroner has to say. But knowing how the cops operate, they'll probably rule it a suicide. Just like they did that black kid that hung himself with two broken legs. Yeah, that happened too. That was last year. They claimed a kid with two broken legs hung himself. You white supremacist motherfuckers got another thing coming. Because you're going to have to deal with people like me. They did it. As soon as I saw this picture, first thought of my mind was these motherfuckers killed that kid.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I didn't even know about the other situation. I did not know about the other situation. I'm gonna be real with you. I did not know. This is what makes things so undesirable. This what makes people go off the deep end. This is what makes people start to question humanity. This is the thing that questions why certain states operate the way they do. They operate the way they do because nothing happened. When you got people being unalived all because of race and something does not get done, this is why these towns, these areas feel this way, feel comfortable to be able to do what they're doing. Why? It's because look at look at what's happening. They're able to get away doing these things because it's easy. It's easy work. It ain't no different than somebody adding chaos in the hood that got bodies, and then all of a sudden they decide to arrest them when they get to their third or fourth or fifth body, and now they throwing them under the jail, but they got 4 to 5 people dead. It's the same thing that's happening here in Mississippi. They allowing people to run rampant, do what they doing. Then what next? And then all of a sudden, y'all gonna send a team of detectives and say, "Yo, we got the people." After they done killed multiple people, God knows how many people got unalived in Mississippi. We always hearing about something when it comes to Mississippi. I don't hear much about gang banging in Mississippi, but I do hear a lot of different things happening when it comes to the other culture, when it comes to the white culture, doing something to blacks. I don't know what is in the water in Mississippi, man. I don't. And I get it that sometimes you might feel like they're getting a bad rap, but I'm gonna tell you something. Every time you hear about somebody being unalive, you can't even explain how these people got unalive. It makes no sense. It's like people just dying in Mississippi, and next thing you know, it's just like, okay, there's something else. Nobody gonna do nothing. It's like everybody clueless.
This story, unfortunately, without me even knowing Nolan's story, I knew the outcome. And that's sad to say. I had already known the outcome.
Mississippi teenager Nolan Xavier Wells disappeared after a boating trip with friends on Horn Island. And while his body has now been found and identified, what has many people talking is that the friends who were with him say they don't remember anything.
What's wrong with this picture?
A lot wrong.
What's wrong? It ain't no kinfolk. This story, unfortunately, without me even knowing Nolan's story, I knew the outcome. And that's sad to say. I had already known the outcome. You go out camping with a group of white people, it's one black person, that black person ain't making it alive. You go out swimming, group of white people, one black person, that black person ain't making it alive. You go anywhere with white people and there's one black person, that black person isn't making it out alive. So when we talk about these stories and I'm hearing them over and over, when we're hearing all these names, Nolan and so on and so forth, all I can say is we need to focus on the resolve. Literally in this case, not only did all the friends say that they don't know what happened, but one of those friends of his mother is a judge. And I'm going to leave it at there and I'll tell you guys, let me ask you, what do you think the end of this is going to be?
Look, man, we already start to see the writing is on the wall. First of all, once they said they don't remember, you already know. You already know. Only problem is right now is what is going to happen. I'm not trying to say that these kids they grew up with means, but I'm gonna tell you now, if it is true that the one has a mind for a lawyer, or should I say judge or lawyer, whatever it is. I think it's a judge. But if I'm wrong, it might be a lawyer. Who knows? Um, if they can have some concrete evidence to show that it was some foul play, don't quite know how it's gonna go. See, a lot of things can play out in this. We just had the Carmelo Anthony situation. That was a lot different. That was a lot different. But this one, mm, this one is a lot different. This one's a lot different. For one, it's not making sense. Two, mm, something gotta happen. Can't continue like this. It just can't.
His white friends that he trusted murdered him. Let's just get that out there. I don't care what the jury is going to say later on down the road. I don't care what they convict. They murdered Nolan Xavier Wells. He was a rising football star. He was an 18-year-old rising football star at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He went on a boating trip with his friends on July 4th to Horn Island. That was a deadly mistake in trusting that they had your best interest. They led you on, they took you to Horn Island, literally, and then they told the cops they don't know what happened to you, even though they came back with your phone. And you were the only one that didn't return. I call murder. Okay, so here's what happened. According to authorities and the
Well, I gotta say this. They did say that his phone was with his father, so I don't know what's true. I'm seeing people say that they had his phone. I did not hear that. He said that his phone was with his father, so I do think that people are hearing different stories. I'm gonna be real with you. We're hearing a lot of different stories. A lot of different stories kind of play out a lot differently, especially by us not being there. We just don't know what happened. But I did hear that the phone was with his father because there was no signal out there anyway. So who knows?
latest reports, he was last seen, Nolan Xavier Wells was reportedly last seen on July 4th around 3 p.m. According to search leaders, they say Xavier had been talking to a girl near the end of the island, then suddenly he disappeared. After that, all of his friends say they don't know what happened, and they ended up returning anyway without him. Just his phone. This was told because his mother was desperately trying to track him and he didn't have his phone on him. His family, of course, immediately started asking anybody for help and anybody on that island who had any pictures or videos around 4:30 because they are desperately looking for him. Well, they were. Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the Coast Guard, Gulf Island National Seashore, the United Cajun Navy, volunteer pilots, drone operators, and dozens of boaters participated in this search. They wanted him found. Then came Monday morning around 8:45 a.m. when a park ranger discovered a body near the west end of the island. The sheriff says it matches Nolan's description. Nolan's family confirmed the devastating loss in a post as well. Again, how does someone disappear on the 4th of July during a trip surrounded by friends? His family needs answers. And
Oh, and another thing, there was a bunch of people out there. So don't think that he just went out there with just four of his friends. There was a lot of people out there. From what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. That's why I say once it plays out a little bit different by getting a little bit more answers, I don't know what answers we're gonna get, but when we get a little bit more info, we'll find out that if it was more people. I'm hearing that it was way more people, but who knows? They said they jumped on another boat. So it was a lot more people out there. But for some odd reason, out of four friends, I don't know, man. Something doesn't make sense. We don't know if he got into a scuffle with somebody else outside of his friend group. Who knows? But we know he ain't here again. We know he can't wake up the next day because damn.
I want to talk about Nolan Wells, but first I want to say this. I've had so many white people and just a couple of black people tell me, you should stop using the F word, and maybe they're right. Okay, and so I've listened. And from now on, I say what the fuck I want. I say fuck that shit. Anyhow, listen. Especially when we need to talk about Nolan Wells, right? An 18-year-old black kid dead after going out with his white friends out on Horn Island in Mississippi. Mysteriously dead. And guess what? The white deflection machine is already working overtime. What's today's white script? You already know it by heart. I'm so sick and tired of seeing black people on social media crying foul over Nolan Wells. It's exhausting. Every single time a tragedy happens, black folks immediately jump online, pointing fingers, claiming it's a cover up and dragging these white teenagers through the mud. Like, why can't you just let law enforcement do their job? Why does everything have to be about race? I'm not here to feed you comfort, white folks. I'm here to tell you the fucking truth. You know why? Because I'm a motherfucking truth teller. That's what the fuck I do. And what the
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know the outcome of this, but I think something's gonna end up coming to fruition about this situation right here because I think a lot of eyes are starting to be open to this right here because we starting to see this happen a little too much. But what dude is talking about right now, I love what he's talking about. But at the same time, somebody somebody has to be accountable for a life. And it might be one or two or three or even four people that's responsible, but we don't know yet.
white kids and their families do? They instantly lock down their social media, scrub their accounts, go private, and lawyer the fuck up before the search boats even get out of the fucking water. Black social media is screaming because they see the glaring, suspicious reality. They're treating them like suspects because they look like fucking suspects. But white people, our default pathological setting clicks right in. Oh, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're just good kids from good families. Automatic, unearned fucking innocence. Why is that dynamic? Why do we live in two completely different parallel worlds in the exact same damn country? You want to know absolutely the hardest truth about black people? Black people know white folks better than we know our fucking selves, and they always have. White people don't know shit about ourselves because we are fundamentally, hopelessly deluded. We are completely intoxicated by the myth of white supremacy. We are sick with this generational, narcissistic illusion that we sit on top of some kind of cosmic hierarchy and that black people are born beneath us.
And I could say this, and I don't want to try to beat it in people's head that, oh, racism, and no, I'm not doing that. But it's almost the same scenario as when people say, I don't understand why people are still angry about racism, like they have an equal opportunity right now. And I, at one time, I used to be like, oh, yeah, you got a point. Until you actually become older and start to understand the dynamics of how things are set up, especially right now, how the court systems are set up. You can go to court for a situation, but for some odd reason, depending on what environment you in, they already found you guilty or innocent, depending where you at. So it kind of makes you wonder, can you get a fair chance out here today? Can you?
We have this toxic insulation, this pathetic luxury of ignorance that allows us to stay safely tucked into a white fantasy world, protecting our fragile ass comfort like it's holy scripture. Black people don't get the luxury of being delusional. They can't afford to play make believe. They are locked into reality because their survival fucking depends on it. So when black folks tell you that those white kids on the boat probably murdered Nolan Wells or that they are very suspect, fucking believe them. 9 out of 10 times, black people are dead right about white folks and our goddamn racist bullshit.
Hey, look, man. Rest in peace, Nolan, and hopefully they can find out what happened and they can bring forward the charges to whoever whoever was involved. Mm. I'll be safe. Like and subscribe. You know it.